Hey everybody, and welcome to Dingle All The Way. I'm Lizzie,
I'm Simon.
and this week on Dingle All The Way, we're recording at like almost 9:30 on a Sunday night, and we'd quite like to get this episode out before the next Emmerdale episode comes out tomorrow. So we're thinking of maybe just like not editing this and just like pressing go when it's done, and you guys can tell us if it's terrible.
And we should say we don't do masses of edits normally, but we might get rid of if like the postman comes or whatever. But this time, if the postman comes at 9:30 at night, then
Then he
you're
will
just
be
gonna have to
recorded on
listen
here.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess most of the editing I do is like sound quality based and removing
Oh
long pauses, but
yeah.
let's just hope that neither of us pause for very long and neither of us have bad sound quality. Like, we won't know in a way.
We don't know. I'm sorry. We just had very busy weekends, and I guess there's limited numbers of people who are like chomping at the bit for this to be out. But those core few will be thrilled, I'm sure, to see it.
Yeah, so thrilled. And I think we have once or twice, haven't we, recorded a podcast, like, and then ended up publishing it after the next one has come out, and you're just like, oh, we were talking about that thing when it was still in that plot line, like, progress
Yeah,
point, but then things have actually moved on.
like if Manpreet starts like gunning people down in the street on Monday and we've not mentioned that and we're like big
Yeah.
Manpreet fans, that's awkward.
And like she probably is going to start doing that tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's okay that we haven't mentioned it. Although, and also in a way we have.
It's true actually. Should we just mention every possible storyline? Maybe Jimmy's like psychological paralysis storyline's kicking off
Oh my
tomorrow.
word, why are you so obsessed with that?
Look, the heart wants what the heart wants. And I
Who
want
was
Jimmy
it?
to have psychological paralysis.
Who was it that was really into that? Was it Rachel Troutman?
Rachel was cheering me
She like
on.
emailed in and was just like, I love the psychological paralysis storyline for Jimmy.
I
I
think
still
she was
love
just
that you put
pandering
that
to
under
me.
I love that you put that under predictions. Did you really think
Look,
that was definitely going to happen?
you will be eating humble pie by the end of 2026.
Yeah, I can't wait. I just ate a really good rhubarb crumble.
She's ready for more pie. I
Yeah.
don't know. This is the sort of
Pie.
thing I'd normally cut. Before we get
I
into
don't
the
think I
actual,
wouldn't normally cut if I was editing and you'd said
that's
that.
true. We do have a low bar for cutting, don't we? I left in when I thought you were flashing me. So before we get into 2 weeks, we should say that we have been guests on an episode of Pop Goes the Tam Tam by our friend Tamsin, who will hopefully, well, she will be on a future episode of this, I'm sure. But we were invited on to talk about our favourite Emmerdale couples. Maybe let's not spoil who they are. If you want to go find out who our favourite Emmerdale couples, past and present, are, look up Pop Goes the Tam Tam and you will find us there.
Yeah, Tamsin's great. I love, well, lots of things about her, but her laugh is just
It's very
incredible.
infectious.
It's completely infectious, and she's such a bright personality. So I would head there and listen. I was going to say right now, but I actually want you to continue to listen to our podcast as well.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you exactly when. At some point, make sure you listen to both.
Yeah, put it in your own scheduling. We're not your PAs, okay?
Yeah, and like I can't bear that burden. I've told you before.
So what is the main story of the past 2 weeks?
Ooh,
Has there been one?
probably like Moira in prison and Cain being ill. Do you think?
I guess so, and all the bear stuff.
All the
It's just
yeah,
a
true.
continuation of all these things, really, isn't
All the
it?
bear stuff, and then there's been quite a lot of Joe Tate, Graham stuff as well.
That's true. Well, shall we start with, I guess, the bear stuff? Because Bear confessed to murder.
Yeah, Bear confessed to murder, and I think that the police are also on to Paddy being there. I don't think they're necessarily on to Dylan being there, but I think they can tell that Paddy was, and they're going to try and like wheedle it out of him, is my prediction.
Yeah, I mean, we don't always rate the police in Emmerdale, but I think they'd have to be peculiarly stupid not to work out Paddy was there, because he is such a terrible, like, what's the word I want? I don't know. He's not covering his tracks well. He seems very keen to like quite loudly blow their cover by having animated conversations about it in the police station, which is a bold move. But I guess it's on character. Like you wouldn't think Paddy was the sort of person who could hide anything from the police or has had much call to do so.
Yeah, and I do kind of feel like they let him like they did give him quite an open door to confess when they were like, we've been doing this job long enough to know you're one of the good guys. If you've got anything to say, it's better for you to say it now. Like, I think they would be on his side if he was
Yeah,
literally like, I was in the room when it happened, I panicked. This is what happened.
yeah.
But he didn't do that. He didn't tell the truth.
He's
So
just relying
what
on this conference that he just hopes they just don't check that he was there.
yeah, I love that he was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna have to hope that they don't actually see who went down on the register. And I'm like, why do you think they wouldn't investigate that?
And also, why couldn't you just say I was at home or I went to the cafe or something rather than like, oh, yeah, I was at this place that is easily disprovable?
I was in this place, but actually nobody saw me there, and there was a register taken, and I won't be on it. Sorry.
What I haven't mentioned is important information is that I am a ghost. I don't know if that factors into your investigation at all.
It's something you may not have noticed about me, but there's actually no official government record of me ever existing.
Yeah. Just make sure to consider that when you're looking
Yeah.
into my alibi.
Yeah, I do find the police lady just very, very difficult because she seems intent on pinning stuff on Moira and intent on sort of riling Bear up into some sort of frenzy so that he can no longer really speak. I think surely neither of these are good police interview strategies.
Yeah, and I can't work out if it's meant to be not a storyline necessarily, but like a bit of police misconduct or something, or if it is just like that. Maybe that's what the police are like. We're not sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's meant to be a storyline. I think it's just just an attitude, but
Just
maybe
something. It
maybe I'm
could
wrong.
launch into a police brutality storyline. The vulnerable people in police custody or something. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. What is it, sort of Prince Andrew themed or?
Is is he a vulnerable person?
No, you just said custody, and I was like, oh yeah, relevant. Maybe we do need to edit this podcast.
I don't even understand what you're saying, but no, leave it in.
I don't really know either.
Oh, sorry, just looking at my head on it. Okay. Cain seems to have really conflated the storylines in a way that doesn't make any sense. Where it's like, if I find out what happens from Bear, then Moria will definitely get off having a dead body on her land. And I can see maybe Bear would be able to say, like, Moria didn't have anything to do with it, but Bear's hardly the most reliable witness. But two things about this storyline confuse me, or not storyline, but this like beat of the storyline. So at one point, Cain referred to him as and Bear as family, and I'm guessing is that because Paddy's married to Mandy? And it sort of links them all
Yeah,
in.
I guess so. Like Paddy is Mandy's father-in-law.
Bear is Paddy's, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant.
And
Um,
is Paddy changed his surname to Dingle? I don't know. I think maybe he did at
yeah,
one
he did, I
point.
think. Um,
Yeah,
and I suppose like Paddy is a father figure to Aaron.
that's true. Kane's probably just guessing at this point. It's like, if you live in the village, you're probably related to a Dingle. Let's just assume that
Yeah, I'd
you're
say that
there.
like Paddy and Mandy are more Dingles than like Tates. But yeah, saying that
Yeah,
he's family
true,
is
true.
maybe stretching the point a little.
Yeah. The other thing was Kane stole petrol from Paddy's car to immobilize him. So I forget for the reason he did this. But when Claudette found out about it, she seemed to compare it to being as bad as modern slavery. She was just like there's terrible things happening. The modern slavery ring, this petrol store incident. It's like Claudette, we need to learn scales. I think like what's
Yeah,
yeah.
that's so funny. Claudette's
Yeah.
had some quite good cameos recently. Like, um, oh no, I think it was like in the last chunk of ones when is it Jimmy in the cafe was like, oh, I can't believe Graham's back. Maybe it's the second coming, and she was like, wash your mouth out. And then there was, oh no, this wasn't actually Claudette, but in the last week, Mandy like has a go at Bernadette in David's shop, and is just like,
Who's
I
Bernadette?
not Bernadette. I always call her Bernadette. I meant Claudette, and Mandy has a go at her, and then like says to someone else, "I almost lost it." Then it's like I think you did
You
lose it
did.
actually, and Claudette's just stood there like, "All right."
And it's one of the things like if someone in my village shouted at me in a public context, I would never speak to them again. I would never recover from it. Whereas it's water under the bridge as soon as the scene's done.
Yeah, it's a home from them, really, sort of screaming at each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
Mandy's main way of talking to anyone is screaming, isn't it? So,
Yeah, Yeah, happy or sad. There's screaming involved. You're so right. I don't really know how this is going to end. I did find it intriguing how Paddy said about Bear, if they charge him, he's just not going to cope. And I thought, well, the last year or so of his life has been him in captivity. And in a way, he seems to now not know what to do not being in captivity, / you have been trapping him in a small room.
Yeah.
So it feels like prison would not be altogether different from just life with Paddy for the last little while.
Might be a rest cure at this point. It'd be a lovely
Yeah.
break. Because at least you can like use the library. Something. I I think one problem with this storyline for me is that because Bear had done nothing in like the year or whatever we watched before the storyline started, I have no idea what his character is like before that. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know how the storyline has changed him. I don't know how out of character how he's behaving now is, because I've got nothing, no benchmark, and same for you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I guess when we started watching, was he in the program at all when we started watching?
Technically yes, but only popped up like once a month or something.
Yeah, I think he had some very minor roles, and then his main storyline was that he was becoming more and more withdrawn, and they were like, "Oh, I wonder if you're depressed or maybe it's dementia," and then obviously he went missing. So we don't have. You're right. We don't really have a benchmark to be like, "Wow, it's so out of character that he's like this." We're just a bit like, "Cool, it's
Yeah,
Bear."
it's Bear. That's what he's like. And two things the police said that again amused me. One was she's like, you could go away for a very long time, and like with the best one in the world, how many years has Bear got left? He's not going to serve 50 years in prison, is he? So,
Yeah, a very long time, maybe stretching the point, and it's actually quite insensitive.
yeah, and I do apologize, but I'm going to move on anyway. And then I do happen to have completely forgotten what the second one was. So let's.
That's nice. We can come back to it.
What could it have been? Oh, who knows?
Okay,
Carry
sorry to
on.
hear that. I don't have much else to say about this whole storyline other than that um nothing in the world feels less natural than Liam saying mate when he addressed Cain to try and comfort him. Other than, I think, don't you and your brother Colin have sort of a long-standing joke or thing on your podcast about you trying to call people mate and not really being able to do it?
Or rather, I just think it's absurd. Like I don't do it because they're not my mate. I don't do it to my actual mates either. But I do call people pal, as you know. So that's
Mm.
my current. What does ring true in Liam using it is like he's definitely the sort of person who would awkwardly use it to like a mechanic who wasn't his friend, or to like someone who's come to fix the boiler or whatever,
That is
in an
true.
effort to seem relatable.
To try and be
Um,
a man of the people, he would awkwardly call someone mate.
Yeah, and maybe that's what his friendship with Kane is. He's just still trying to be like, I may be posh, but
Oh.
also I'm just like you, I'm your friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that is quite an astute observation, actually. I think maybe it's more in character for Liam to say mate than we thought, but I don't think he would actually say it to Kane. I think he would say it to the boiler man.
Definitely the Boiler Man.
Mm.
Yeah, but I do think. I mean, we always say we want people to have friends. I do think Kane needs a different friend, but it's nice that he's got Sarah to support him in
Yeah.
this cancer storyline.
Who do you think would be a good friend for Kane?
Who's left? I mean, I guess it'd be nice if him and Caleb weren't constantly deciding they hate each other forever.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Caleb could be a good one. I mean, maybe Graham. I think they have both tried to kill each
What?
other, but
No. I
they're just
think if he could
clutching at straws.
get over how annoying he seems to find him, he could be quite good friends with Ross.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if Ross would benefit from that though. I'd like him to be friends with Rona just because they're married in real life, but
Yeah,
they do.
I think that is the reason they're not really friends in the thing, though, isn't it?
There was a funny moment years and years ago when it was actually during a time that Rona had a storyline with her possessive husband in the show, but they were playing a drinking game or something, and they had to say who their secret crush in the village was, and she said Cain, and that was quite funny.
That's quite sweet.
Yeah,
I like that.
but yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing them together
No.
as friends or anything else in the actual show.
I don't really have anything else to say about this, but I feel like I should.
No, it's fine. I've not got anything else to say about it either. Let's move on to Well, we seem to have had a few storylines which have just been like swept under the rug now. Of course, in the last week, 2 weeks, we have said farewell to my favourite character, Victoria, as she
No.
goes off on maternity leave. Which was we had totally assumed she was going to prison, but no.
Yeah. No, she's just not able to cope with all the reminders when she's in Emmerdale of, her life and how it's ended up. And it didn't seem like the most logical reason to me to leave, but maybe that's insensitive. I don't want to be sort of gaslighting her, but it did seem a bit strange.
Like, is this really what was the tipping point after everything else you've lived through over the past like 25 years, whatever?
Yeah, there has
But
been a lot.
but it's
But
nice that she's still in touch with Diane. So Diane was in the show for a very long time. You've probably seen her in the Robron
yeah,
playlist, and is, I guess, Victoria's stepmom. No, but yeah, was in that role for a very long time. So that's nice.
that is
And
nice.
yeah, they've obviously decided that John committed suicide, which I'm intrigued to know what sort of death by stabbing could be suicide.
Well, it was the syringe, wasn't it? Of
Oh, that's
the
right.
sedative. So I guess they must have been like, oh, he took his own drugs. I did think he got it in the neck, not in like a.
Metaphorically and literally.
Yeah, maybe I sort of imagined that and we don't know where it was stabbed into. I sort of imagined it being in his neck. I don't know if I saw that or if it was from my mind. And that'd be quite a hard place to stab yourself, I think.
It does feel like one that the police could perhaps spend more time on, but they've obviously decided they're not going to.
And that's
It's
fine,
fine.
The police do march to the beat of their own drum in Emmerdale.
They're like, he's quite
So
annoying on the whole. We're not
yeah.
too bothered.
I have a big, massive, exciting update actually.
Oh my gosh.
Last week I saw the Hotton taxi on the road near mine.
Yes, yes, yes,
That's
yes.
the taxi that Vic left the village in. Same
That's
registration plates. I
huge.
know, I checked it.
That is huge.
I know.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what we need to do with this information, but I'm glad we have it.
Yeah, me too. And I really wish I'd left a note on the windscreen because I haven't seen it there recently and it was there for like 2, 3 days. And I wish that I'd left a note being like, who are you? Why is this here? Tell me more. But I don't
Give
know if
me
I'll get that chance
everything.
now. And it's usually
Wow.
on my way to work. Maybe I'll pre-write a note that I keep in my coat pocket. This isn't at all weird.
No, it's normal to just carry around notes for cars
Imagine
you
if
might
I
bump
like,
into.
imagine if I get hit by a car and the only way that it can identify me is like a note in my pocket like, "Hi, I'm just wondering if you can tell me what's going on."
They'll be like, troubled local woman Lizzie Fry was, was writing notes to fictional people that she carried around with her.
Just
It's
in case.
yes, this death is a blessing. It's unusual for a police report, but
Can you
dear.
imagine that being read out at my funeral? Her death was indeed a blessing, and we will just now read the note that we found in her coat pocket that says, "Can you let me know what's going on here?"
Lizzie finally knows what's going on now.
She's finally at peace. Oh, I wish I was at peace.
Oh, you should be at peace.
No, I am at peace in many
A peace
ways.
that passes all understanding.
Thank you.
Which growing up I always thought meant like everyone understood it because I was like doing a test at school, pass means like correct. So it's like
Yeah, true. It is an unusual
similarly,
phrase.
yeah. I don't know if getting into Book of Common Prayer idioms is strictly Emmerdale, but I did always get confused by we are not worthy so much as to gather the crumbs under your table, but you are the same Lord whose nature is always to have mercy. Because I do it as far as you are the same Lord. It's like I'm not worthy, but you are the same Lord. It's like I'm pretty sure he is. I don't want
I
to
think he's
question
not.
it. Anyway, I can link that to Charles. There you go. There's my link. Well, actually, it was interesting that Charles was not a counsellor, but did just offer his house to host the counselling for reasons that were not clear.
Yeah, I really didn't understand why that had to be a plot point. I was like, there must be a reason that it all gets linked back to Charles at some point, or that like there's something to do with his house and the fact it was there. But I don't think there will
Yeah,
be now. I think it was just like done.
it just needs to be somewhere. I guess they had to find. But I mean, why couldn't it just be in their actual home? I
Yeah, I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Because we had this special episode, which turned out not to be particularly special. I don't think we'd have known it was a special episode if we weren't told that.
It didn't feel very special to me.
Where Dylan, April, and Bear were all having deep, meaningful chats with respectively Paddy, Rona, and a counsellor who looked incredibly like comedian Mae Martin, which is all
Oh,
I kept
I
thinking.
don't know who that is, but great. I thought she was really cool. I was like, I want to be her friend.
She seemed really cool, and maybe she also seemed like a good actor. So maybe we'll get her back. I don't know.
Yeah, who's to say?
She seemed like she could be the latest cool lesbian in town. I'm just going to say it. That's the vibe I got from her.
Are you just getting that because she had short hair and was cool?
Yeah.
Would you like to? Would you like to edit this podcast, or are you just going to leave it in?
I'm going to leave it in because it's a neutral observation. I'm going to say.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to let that hang in the air.
I feel like it's neither a negative nor a positive thing that she seems like a cool new lesbian.
Okay, great. And we do love to see it.
Do we have any lesbians in the cast at the moment? I'm trying to think. We've got a few bi people.
Mary.
Oh, Mary, that's true. She's a bit young for dating Mary. Charity and Vanessa. Oh no, Vanessa is lesbian, not just bisexual, I think. Oh, I can't remember. Bring in the psychologist. She can date Vanessa. Give Vanessa something to do.
Yeah, true. She hasn't had much on her plate other than when she was sort of spiraling about Charity's baby. She seems to have forgotten about that / doesn't care.
Everyone seems to have forgotten about that. So.
Which is just as well. It's really nice for Sarah to finally have something else to talk about than vitamins.
That's true. Given her granddad's cancer, it must be something of a welcome break from the vitamin obsession.
Last time I can rest.
I'm sure that Charity's been pregnant for a year and a half at this point. It's endless.
You do say that every time we record a podcast.
It's always longer into the future. It's always more time.
Yeah, I don't know when she's meant to have that baby. In soaps / Emmerdale, do people are they normally pregnant for 9 months or?
Well, I think they quite often do the thing where we just find out very late that someone's pregnant, so they only have to be pregnant. The storyline only has to last like 3 months or whatever, or
that makes sense.
Potentially no months if they don't reveal they're pregnant before they give birth.
And then we don't have to think about the pregnancy for as long.
Yeah, and I've got nothing against thinking about pregnancy, of course, but I've been thinking about this one
night
for my
and day.
entire life.
You think about pregnancy.
I'm always thinking, just in the abstract, what's up with pregnancy? Actually, now I'm thinking about that. What is up with pregnancy?
Now that we're talking about it, what the heck is going on with pregnancy? Well, you're asking the wrong woman.
If anyone wants to get in touch and tell me what's up with pregnancy, dinglealltheway.pod.
Big questions. Another big question I have. Who's going to live in Vic's house now?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think someone will inevitably move in there soon.
It has just been her, hasn't it, for a while?
Yeah, and the boy whose name I can't remember, Harry?
Yeah, sweet Harry. Yeah, true. Well, if they're going to force Graham out of Home Farm, maybe Graham will move in there.
Yeah, true. I guess that would be a big fall from grace from him.
Yes. I don't know who owns it, if Victoria owns it. Well, I think actually, is that the house? There was a house that Victoria inherited from Betty. Maybe it was that one.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe it'll just be unoccupied for a bit.
There was some really good...
Oh, no, you go.
Okay, this is the thing we normally cut. On the Victoria thing, there was a really good scene or two with Robert I thought was so moving and done really well, where Victoria's like, why are you doing all these weird things, Robert? I didn't ask you to. And Robert being like, I'm always looking out for you. And I thought it was really well written as well. He had lines, I can't remember the exact wording, but something like, I always choose you and you never choose me. And I thought that was so heartbreaking, because he does make stupid decisions, but they do come from, well, in terms of like planting blackmail material, not blackmail material, like incriminating material, probably a poor choice. But it was done out of love for Victoria, and it is true that she's never particularly grateful when he does things for her, again, because they're often stupid things. But I thought it was such a moving scene of his like, I'm doing all these things, I love you so much, why do you hate me, basically, or why do you just treat me with disdain?
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that as well, but I felt the same. And then Aaron, I thought it was really nice, the scene of Aaron basically backing him up and talking to Vic about it separately and being like, he's had a really hard life, and that like that doesn't excuse the things that he's done, but like as a backdrop, he adores you. He hasn't really had like a great experience of family. I don't know. I thought it was really nice, and I did think that might make her stay, but I guess pregnancy is pregnancy. You gotta flee the village.
We gotta, as discussed. Yeah, I mean, and I hope she will come back. I don't see any reason why she
Oh
wouldn't come
yeah,
back.
surely
But
she will.
yeah,
Oh, wouldn't it
um,
be so nice if what was his name? The other Sugden, not the other Sugden, the guy who she went out with for ages.
oh, Adam.
Yeah, wouldn't it be so nice if he came back?
Oh, they
What if
should
they
come back
link up in Portugal
together.
or something and come
It'd be
back?
so fun if she comes back. She's like, oh, guys, I got secretly married while I was away, and then he comes through the door. Oh my gosh,
I'd be so happy. I love them together.
that'd be so good. And it could give Moira a moment's happiness that she has not had in 20 years.
Yeah, I know. It would be so nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Speaking of people who are never happy, I Matty was obviously sad about the anniversary of his wife's icy death, but
Tell me that you're not going to shame him for being sad about his wife's death.
I'm absolutely fine with him being sad about his wife's death. No problem there. But he did say, "I'm not my usual cheery, chappy self." You have never been cheerful. Like I've never seen you be anything other than whiny. And like, sure, in this case, again, I understand why you're grieving your wife, but he is always moping, and I find him quite tiresome.
I guess, again, since we started watching, he mainly has like, or he went to prison because he accidentally like hurt someone in like a transphobic attack against him,
Mm,
and then he got out of prison, and then his wife died. So I guess he hasn't had much time to be
yeah,
super cheery. But I do get what you're saying. It's interesting to learn that he sees himself as a cheery chappy.
that's true. It's like, what are you basing this on? Uh, that household, that farm, just needs like one happy storyline next year. Just give them, or this year, like just give them something sunny.
Yeah, it is cursed.
It is so cursed. I mean, it's again, yet again, ask the question why Joe Tate is so obsessed with getting it, because that farm
Yeah.
is always on the brink of going under. Like it's when it's not like polluting the waterways, it is. We know the back fence is constant state of disrepair for one thing.
That's the main thing they've got going on. Yeah, I want. Is it like a historic Tate versus Sugden thing, which is why Joe's so obsessed with getting that field? Because I don't understand why he's so determined to bring everybody down for the sake of it.
Yeah, it is baffling. And then obviously Robron finding that sign in a field that was remarkably intact for having been underground for 30 years or something.
Yeah, it looked brand new, and I did think like he was talking about the fact that like everyone used to touch it or something twice a day. Kind of weird. And I thought, was that actually something that was in Emmerdale back in the day that we could go back and watch? Or did they just kind of like retcon that in and we're
I'd love to
expected to
know
find it
that.
moving?
Someone tell us, because it also
Yeah.
just seemed like a weird, like it seemed like a sign for this farm, but in the middle of a field rather than at, the entrance to the farm where you might expect to see it.
I assumed it had sat like either embedded in a wall or like on top of a wall or something. I
I
don't
guess
know.
so. But if Robert's touching it twice a day on the way to school, presumably it is near a road, but or
Yeah.
like at least some sort of path. I mean, we don't even know if Emmerdale has a school, but but maybe it did at some point.
I think it did and it doesn't now.
And it does yeah, I think we said before, it does explain the educational standards of the children of Emmerdale.
Bless them all.
Um,
Yeah, that was quite strange. I think we were meant to find it very moving that he'd found that sign, but actually I didn't.
no, I mean, I found it quite moving that they were coming together and like sharing a little moment together. The fact that it was around farming, I think, means a lot to people who've seen the Sugdens be farmers for decades, but
Yeah,
those people are not as.
sadly not.
I also
Yeah.
in the Matty Cheery Chappy scene, there was something I really enjoyed from Cain. I think in reference to Matty having done some work, Cain said, "What do you want? A Pride of Britain award?" And that is a line that I will be taking in my day-to-day life, I think.
What sort of when you with the staff that you manage, or
Yeah, you got to keep them in their place, I suppose.
I think I'm basically like almost lowest in the pecking order at my work, but it would still be quite funny if one of my superiors was like, "So I've been working on this project this week. Like, well, what do you want? A Pride of Britain award?" To my boss.
Yeah, in some ways it's funnier to do it to someone in a position to fire you.
It's good to play with fire.
It's good to play with fire if you learn one thing. Um, curiously, on the Cain storyline, I've just written down Sarah's lovely solution, but I don't know what Sarah's lovely solution was. Do you remember what
Sounds
that was?
sounds like a chapter heading in a children's book. Is it about stealing a car?
Yes, it was about stealing the car. Yeah, well done. They're
Thank
like,
you.
because it wasn't the specific car at that point. When she was just like, yeah, no, it would cheer you up. Petty crimes.
And the lovely thing is that it really did cheer him up. Like at the end, he was sort of a bit cheeky again.
They put a pep in his step, didn't it?
Yeah, and you think he's a simple man and he just really likes stealing cars. I did
And in
think
this
it's like,
particular case, just taking them a few miles away. And if you're I mean, I haven't stolen cars myself, personally speaking, but would you go for one that was quite so distinctive?
yeah, I literally wrote that. I said it's a very distinctive car to steal and then expect to go unnoticed. E.g., if you're trying to sell it, what about when people want to take it on test drives?
Did you recognize the DeLorean when it came into the village?
Yeah. Did you
I,
not?
I I didn't. I have seen Back to the Future once, and I can get onto my hot takes about Back to the Future in a minute. But
I might not want to hear them, but I love that film.
yeah, everyone does seem to. And my question to you and to all those people is, why do you love a film about a man whose mother like tries to crack onto him?
Because it's not necessarily incest.
See, if for me, if you have to say that, that's already crossed a line into
No,
whether or not I want to watch it.
I think the fact that that happens is so crazy. Like, it's not saying, like, this would be great. It's saying, like, this must be avoided at all costs. That's the premise of the film.
Yeah, I do. It's my brother's favorite film. And I love referring to it as incest drama. Back to the Future. So,
No, you're doing what people do when they see stuff in the Bible that's deeply unpleasant and they say Christians love it when people mistreat each other. And you're like, no, just because it's in the Bible doesn't mean God thinks it's a good thing. That's how I feel
description
about
doesn't
Back to
mean
the Future.
approval. Well, you've got me over a barrel there.
Thank
So,
you.
I have seen all three because Colin loves them so much, and I don't care for them personally. But
Well, that's fine. You do care for Colin, and I believe you care for me.
I do very much care for both of you. But so yes, for me, when that car came through, I was just like, "What?" And Cammy and Lewis, not Lewis, who was it? Vinny was there, wasn't it? Yes, we were so excited to see this car. For me, it was just like, that's a horrible old car. Why are they excited to see it?
What is going on? I think the best thing that I've seen maybe ever is when someone asked whose car it was, and Cammy did an impression of Joe Tate going, "It's Joe Tate's."
It was such a bad impression.
It was so
But I
brilliant.
enjoyed it.
I thought Ross actually did a pretty good impression of him when when Joe was in the cafe and he was like, it's actually Lucas that you're hurting. And then Ross was like, yeah, someone needs to think of the millionaire children.
Yeah, so he was much better at it. He's very good at
Yeah.
impressions. I think he's done a few over the years, and he's just so funny. But my favorite thing, obviously, in this DeLorean storyline, which presumably was in
Manpreet.
was of course Manpreet.
You're obsessed.
Manpreet, A, knowing all about cars, B, little crush on Cammy and vice versa. We don't like. It's like
I was trying to remember, was that someone that we did a prediction on?
no. I think maybe I said that, or
I
someone
think
said
you
that we
said
thought it'd be fun.
Manpreet to find someone, but I can't remember if we said Cammy or not.
Maybe we said Cammy. I'm sure I mentioned Cammy because we love Cammy, but I don't think it's who I settled on. But I can't remember who I did settle on. Maybe it was Ross. I know they had their one night stand. Maybe not. I don't know. I just want her to be in the center of the show, as you know.
Yeah.
But I loved it when he was just like, "Can we date?" No, really, and then just her little reaction of like little wink sort of thing. And then slightly odd when she was just like broing out with them all in the cafe. Like it must be like, I don't know what.
Yeah, that
Is she
was
now?
quite random, but
Is she part of the gang now? I
she's
don't
obviously
know.
just hoping for something, and she's like, maybe if I hang around with these people, it will happen.
And I did write, do I ship Cammy and Manpreet now? And the answer might be yes. So,
Yeah, I think I can see it maybe happening, but
like
I don't
she could
know.
teach him some things, I'm sure. So,
What, like medicine or?
yeah, medicine. Although we know that Cammy is an observing Muslim, and I'm wondering how far that goes. Sleeping around.
Well, he did sleep with Sarah, so
Yeah. It might be one of those things that does happen in soaps when they have Muslim characters or characters of any faith, where they do pick and choose the things they want to include.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
famously, Charles the Vicar. was having sex with Laurel at one point, and you think, interesting.
Yeah. But I guess he must be observing Ramadan at the moment, which I remember one of the first things he did must be in it for a year now because he was talking about Ramadan
Oh,
when he
yeah,
joined,
he
wasn't he?
arrived talking about Ramadan.
So let's keep a watchful eye on that.
Happy days.
Funny. Oh yes, and they did a little film discussion, and it was Ross loves The Breakfast Club. I don't know if you want to hear my hot take on The Breakfast Club as
I
well.
don't really know what that film is, but I would love to hear your hot take on it. And I'm sure there are people listening who do know what The Breakfast Club is.
Yes, I'm quite shocked you don't actually. I mean, we
Sorry.
are both of us, in myself included, too young to have watched it when it first came out because I think it came out when you were not born and I was maybe like one. But
Okay.
it's about a bunch of kids in detention, which, as far as I can tell, happens after school. So I'm not sure why it's called The Breakfast Club. But it's the sort of mid-80s teen thing where teenagers just like soliloquize, or I guess there are other people there, but they talk for about 10 minutes about their history in a very moving way and take it in turns to do that. And it's all very poignant and not at all realistic. And I find it quite annoying. But it is well beloved by Gen X
Mm.
and apparently Ross, who I think the actor who plays Ross is like maybe my age or a couple of years younger or something. So he wouldn't have watched it when it came out. But I guess at some point he developed a fondness for John Hughes romantic comedy stylings.
What other films were they talking about?
What else did they do? Oh, I'm trying to think. Did they talk about Indiana Jones? No, I don't know. It was
I don't
just
know. I guess the main thing that was going on in that scene was that Vinny and Lewis were having moments.
well, I did obviously enjoy Cammy and Ross cheering that on. I don't particularly cheer it on myself. As discussed, we prefer them as friends than as boyfriends.
Yeah. I
But
guess
it
we'll just
looks
find
like
out what happens.
it does seem the tide is going against us.
The main thing that I did enjoy was that Lewis's idea of let's go wild means watching TV and eating lasagna at home.
Which sounds like an amazing evening. So
Yeah, and actually the day that I watched that episode, my friend Bryony asked me over for dinner and she made lasagna and I was like, I'm going wild, basically.
she's
It's
having
really
a
good.
crazy night out.
I know, she is completely mental actually.
Watch the space for you two becoming an item, I suppose.
It apparently is a foregone conclusion. I should have known that before.
Of course, the Back to the Future thing ties into Joe Tate's story, where
Yes.
he watches it with one of the children. I forget the name of the child.
Lucas?
Thank you. Yes, Lucas. And we seem to have like retconned that he's an amazing stepdad.
I know, and I know it's completely farcical, but I love it. It's so cute.
It was the only see like the scene where, well, actually the scene where he thought that Dawn might be pregnant, and when he's talking about being a stepdad, was the first time I've liked Joe Tate, I think, since he came back.
I know. I'm finding it incredibly hard to reconcile like that side of him with when he's like just really merciless and doesn't
Mm,
care about throwing like Moira under the bus for human trafficking and that kind of thing. And I know that that's, I think, what the writers are trying to do is be like, look at these two completely different sides of this person, but I think they're just pushing it too far in the like they're actually not compatible.
they're just not. And also, he's not a good stepdad. Like, he told Clemmy that he was going to get her taken away less
Yeah,
than a
that is
year ago.
true. That is true.
He
And
doesn't
he's
seem to
like, I've
care.
realised I love this, but do you?
Have you spent any time with any of them before this? Do you
Has he
know
ever
who
set
they
eyes on
are?
Evan?
Has anybody?
Is Evan still in the hospital?
Well, we learned in a sort of throwaway line that Evan's fine now. They've cured his leukemia completely and he's fine. Don't
That's
worry about
nice.
it.
Yeah,
We're almost like, we
tricky.
must celebrate this thing that has been top of mind, but I just haven't mentioned on screen. Which, of course, you can't have for her talking about it, nothing else all the time to make it interesting. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I am interested in the like Dawn and Joe getting married, having children thing because I feel like will they actually stay together? I don't know. At the moment, it all seems
Mm,
lovely, good for them, but I can't imagine it lasting more than like another 18 months.
no, and I don't. We don't need another pregnancy storyline. There's enough going on with the existing pregnancy storyline.
No. Yeah, also amazing that she wants to add yet another child into the mix because she's just discovered what it is to go to Paris and look great.
It's true. Yeah, and like obviously she lives in this massive house now, but that's a bit precarious. If she suddenly has to move in Victoria's, where's she going to put all these children?
True, just have to fill the cupboards with them in a way.
Yeah.
I'm quite confused by Graham because he seems to flip-flop between like trying to tell Joe that he's a terrible person, that he needs to change his ways, and then like giving up and kind of getting on board with all the evilness.
Yeah, and it's hard to know what his emotional state is because of the way he speaks. And I did
Was that an impression of him?
it wasn't, it was just me thinking actually, but
Because of the
I have to
way
go down here
he
like
speaks.
and I did describe him in my notes as sentient gravel, which quite pleased with as a description.
Yeah, that's actually so good. I
And
really like that.
it's quite hard to watch a scene with him. I said that last episode as well, but
Yeah,
he's so weird in the way he delivers all his lines.
he is the definition of a tough watch. But actually, the only thing that has endeared me to Graham, or endeared Graham to me, I suppose. I don't know whether Graham finds me endearing personally.
He's obsessed. He can't get enough.
And I can't blame him. No, the one thing I found endearing about Graham is that he was listening to Fauré's Requiem in the kitchen the other day.
Okay.
So that was really nice.
That is lovely for him.
And for me.
And for you, I don't know if that's enough to get me on side, but
I just think it's a great piece of music. I respect him for enjoying it.
he does seem like he would like classical music. I will give him that.
Yeah. It's just so unusual to me that Graham is still living there when Kim actively doesn't want him there. Dawn doesn't seem to want him there. Gabby doesn't seem to know particularly who he is. And Joe seems to blow hot and cold on whether he likes him, and yet he's still like, yeah, I'm gonna stay here. This is where I live now. Wouldn't you
Yeah,
feel
it's like, I
so
have
uncomfortable
to.
moving in somewhere knowing that like the large proportion of the people who live there don't want you there?
Yeah, and for no obvious reason, because you can continue this strange, like, faux paternal relationship you've got if you live, like, two doors down, or indeed
Mm,
anywhere else. Like, I've got an actual paternal relationship with my dad who does not live in my house. So
yeah.
it is possible as an adult to not live with your parents.
I think maybe Graham should live in Vic's house somehow.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, I'd like him to live in a different country, but if we, if we have
Ideally, I'd like him to go back to being dead.
yeah, I do miss when he was dead. I think he might be my least favorite character already. But sorry, I know people are loving having him here. But what really annoyed me is when he decided to just go and tell Rona that he loved it.
Yeah, I know. And Marlon's response was impeccable.
Yeah, I liked how he was not angry at Rona, angry with Graham, very realistic about his chances of actually succeeding in the violence. When Rona was like, "Did you fight?" He was like, "Am I dead?"
Do I look like we fought?
Because if they actually came down to it, Marlon would last 8 seconds,
Yeah.
absolute maximum.
But yeah, it was quite strange when, yeah, Joe just being like, yeah, you should tell people how they feel, which is unusual coming from him. I'm not sure he's ever told anybody how he feels about anything. And
No,
then Graham was like, oh yeah, okay, sure. Confess his undying love for a married woman. Don't do that.
it's like that episode of Friends where Ross tells Rachel that he loves her just because he thinks it's nice to tell people. It's like, no, it's not. If you think it's going to upset them, keep it to yourself.
Yeah. Or if you just realise, like, nothing good could come of this, I don't know. What's the point?
Yeah. Yeah, I did like his sweet little relationship with Leo, and the actor who playing Leo did seem to genuinely love that man. Because
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think he is particularly faking when he is nice to people, and he doesn't often respond to people in the show, whereas he did respond to Graham. So they obviously got a lovely rapport between them, which was
Oh,
nice.
I guess because they worked together quite a lot before, it's probably quite nice
Yeah,
to have like a known quantity there.
and we got a little bit more sign language / Magaton in, so
Yeah, we
that's
love to see it. Did you understand any of it?
well, I knew sorry. So that
Yeah.
one down with one of the first things we learnt was sorry again slowly.
That's nice.
Which is a useful one. And at home, I recognise. I think they did that. Yeah, so I'm basically
Nice.
fluent.
Yeah, you are pretty fluent now. I'm very impressed with you actually.
Another line I loved. There's been some very sharp writing, some funny writing in the last couple of weeks where Marlon came up to like yell at Graham, and someone said, "Is anyone expecting Marlon?" And Kim said, "Hardly," which I thought that was great. Like Kim is so much better when she's being in like comedy mode. So I want some of that.
Yeah, I really like him. I feel like we haven't seen her much recently.
No, she had that weird time when she was away in business and all her lines were given to Joe, but yeah.
Yeah. We did get some Lydia content this last couple of weeks. I don't remember what, but I remember seeing her.
Yes, I was going to say remind me, but you also don't seem to remember.
Was she sort of dropping stews around for Mandy or something? Oh yeah, and Mandy's back from the jungle.
Mandy's back from the jungle, and getting all up in everyone's grill. So
Yeah, she does love to do that.
that.
I'm really glad that Dylan threatening to leave was just a plot device.
Yes, I didn't think he would, to be honest. But
No, neither did I. But I was like, oh great, that's really annoying. But it made me realise when Dylan first came to the village and was included in Emmerdale at all, I was a bit like, oh, just another teenager, boring. But he's really grown on me. I realised I didn't want him to leave when he was starting to leave, and I really like the relationship he's got with Paddy and Mandy. I think it's sweet.
Me too, yeah. And I mean, Paddy does throw around like he's like a son to me as sort of just like a greeting to him, but
Say it to literally anything. He said it to a rock last week.
Yeah. He said it to Sentient Gravel, but but it feels genuine here, and I'm hoping we'll have him around for a while. I'm sure Dylan and April will sort of fade into the background for a while, having had such a long storyline. I think everyone agrees that story was too long, but
Yeah.
but yeah, they'll be in the background for a bit, but hopefully around for a while. And you know what? Let's not have a young pregnancy storyline. Let's do something else with them, please.
Let's give everyone a break from a pregnancy storyline. Can we just
Yeah.
have like a moratorium on pregnancy and cancer?
Yes, particularly since, as noted, we need to get to the bottom of what pregnancy is, and we haven't done that yet.
I know who knows what it is. Why do you keep putting it into all the storylines?
Oh dear. Right, I'm down to just a few strays, I think, now.
Yeah,
Have you got
oh, I
anything?
was about to say, all I've got left is strays.
Oh my gosh.
So in sync. My first one is that after really trying to hash it out and not really getting anywhere in our last episode, it would appear that Gabby does work at the Hyde.
Yes, she does, and it really doesn't seem to fit the whole businesswoman thing because
it really doesn't.
Like that Hyde is poorly run, if run at all, I think.
Yeah. And I didn't love the random storyline with like Arthur and wanting to run away, wanting to go to Australia and that kind of thing. But it was really nice to see Gabby and Laurel hanging out.
That was nice.
Because we have said before that Laurel used to be like a mother to her and now they barely speak. But yeah, it was nice that they were spending time together, giving each other advice, friendly words.
Yeah, and one of my little strays was about the beginning of the whatever storyline I'm getting with Arthur. And I wrote down initially Arthur's had a personality transplant and then realised he didn't really have a personality before, but
But he was like a normal, quite kind boy.
Yeah, and now he's just very angry. Gosh, what a legacy Rayleigh's, even when he just like glances at someone briefly, it transformed their personality. And I know we don't agree on this, but I do find it hard to watch him in any scene because I hate those glasses so much.
I knew you were going to bring up the glasses.
It's just like I can't watch this, and that's something that they should respect.
You've
and
got
not put me through. But if he stops cosplaying as Alistair from As Time Goes By, then I will enjoy the
Nobody in this world knows what you're talking about.
There's going to be one person listening who loves that reference.
I think there's going to be even fewer people who love that reference as people they were who understood when you were on about the Book of Common Prayer.
Are my references entirely those of non-generian women? Yes. Yes, they are.
And we love you for it, but we don't claim to understand it.
I would say to anyone listening, but
I hope no one's watching.
Heavens.
Who's
Google
watching?
Alistair As Time Goes By if you don't know him, and you will think, gosh, I'm looking at Arthur. Liz, we've got some live Googling happening here. Again, we're not cutting any of this, so I just have to like fill space.
I actually really do see what you're saying.
Right.
Okay, maybe we should put him as the cover artwork for this episode. Him next to a photo of. Do you want me to do that? I can do a little mock-up.
I mean, I love that we're not editing it, but we are going to like spend some time doing that.
It will take me about 5 minutes.
Okay, I mean, if you don't mind us breaking whatever copyright is on that picture of
I'm
either
sure
of
no
them.
one's going to come and find us.
I can't imagine as time goes by, intellectual property lawyers are very busy nowadays.
I very much doubt it. Do you have another stray?
Yes, I loved that Mary and Kim were chatting like friends again, because we talked about,
Mm.
we didn't watch it, it was before our time, but when Mary first came out, she came out to Kim, and we've not seen any sign of that friendship. But the chat they had, and I can't remember exactly what it was about, but it was done like they're old friends, which I enjoyed. So maybe we're going to see a bit more of that. That was nice.
Yeah, that would be nice. I actually kind of didn't really take that in or register that it was happening, so I'm glad that you brought that up. My next thing is, has anything ever looked more fake than the staircase in Home Farm?
It leads nowhere.
It leads nowhere, and it looks like it's made out of like glitter glue or something.
Glitter glue and balsa wood.
It's just like so lightweight. Like if any of the Home Farm residents put on a tiny bit of weight, I fear it would crumble under them.
That's why Dawn needs to not get pregnant. Like, those
Yeah,
stairs
so
won't
true.
support a pregnant woman.
Or like if any of the children leaned on the banisters, they would just topple straight over.
Yeah, that's funny.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed when Ruby went. We haven't really talked about Ruby's confession to Cain, but who cares?
I love Ruby.
We love
Well, I love
Ruby.
Beth accordingly.
Yeah, we love Beth. Yeah, the moment, this is not my story, but I'll mention it. The moment where she said, like, no, someone, was it Cain said, "I'll never forgive you," or she said, "Will you ever forgive me?" It's like, he's obviously going to forgive you by the end of the week. As it
He
happened, it was
always
by
does.
the end of the next episode. So,
Yeah.
that was interesting. That I did like that she and Caleb had no idea who owned that field, and like they're just like, we're just not interested in knowing whose land is whose.
And like,
Legit.
why should they be? She'd
Yeah.
never been on a walk before, for goodness sake.
Exactly, that's true. Yeah, none of these are my strays. I'm just getting around to the actual thing it was, which is when she walked in to announce that, she said, "Oh, it looks like a bomb's gone off," and there were like 2 envelopes on the table and maybe like a bowl in the sink.
Again, if the people who were trying to set up Paddy and Mandy's place as if they're having a meltdown saw my actual living conditions.
But I think even that room is normally messier because it's like, busy working farmers, lots of children.
Yeah.
It will look messy, but I guess maybe it's compared to her very like pristine life where she probably gets Lydia in to clean like morning and afternoon every day or something.
Yeah, probably. I did really enjoy, while we're talking about Ruby, after like borderline harassing Bear in the last 2 weeks, she was really great with him by the end of this, and like
That's true. She learned
I
a
thought they were really
lesson.
heartwarming scenes when he was like, "You like those fancy coffees, don't you?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I do," and he was like, "Well, we don't have any."
And then she laughed because I liked her response to it. That was very sweet. I'm hoping we see more of that Bear, which maybe is what his personality is. We just don't know.
Yeah, who's to say? I just don't know.
Do you have any more strays?
Yeah, final one, which is retrospective success of Psychic Corner or Prophetic Corner, depending what we're calling it, is that Matty was drinking a coffee and then he like threw the rest of it away in outrage. And I thought, I think that's because of us. I said, because you didn't really care, but it was for some reason my hobby horse. That when they have a drink, it's really obvious that there's nothing in the cup. And I just thought,
Hey, look
I
what's
think
in the
that was because of me.
cups.
I think they were listening and they were like, oh, you know what? They can tell the cups are empty.
Love it. Yes.
I've noticed it like 3 times, but every time I see it, I'm like, wow.
That's probably us, possibly, probably.
I mean,
My
probably not, but
final my final stray is just I loved Cammy trying and failing to make coffees when he
yeah, it was sweet,
was in
wasn't
the
it?
cafe.
Getting scared of the
Yeah.
steam wand.
I just love Cammy.
I do adore Cammy. I hope we meet him on the Star Tour.
Oh my gosh. I hope so. Well, my ranking is number 1 Manpreet. That's who I most want to meet. Because I don't know if she'll believe me when I'm like, I want you to be the main character in the show. I think she'll think I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not. That's what
I
I
want
want.
to meet Beth Cordingley so much.
We're just going to go to every single Star Tour until we meet them. We're going to bankrupt
I
ourselves. Be like, it's
know.
us
I just think
again.
like we would probably be best friends.
Yeah, of all the hypothetical friendships / romances you've made with cast members, I think that's the most likely.
Thank you. I don't know if I appreciate you saying that.
Look, and it's just sometimes you got to be cruel to be kind.
You certainly do follow that.
I've not got around to the kind bit yet.
One day. Why don't you put it on
One
the to-do list for
day.
2027?
Whereas I know that Michael Parr doesn't want to be friends with me, but I think maybe I can't actually remember the name of the actress who plays Manpreet.
Rebecca
Rebecca
Sarker.
Sarker. There we go. I also think she wouldn't want to be friends with me, but I think she'd pretend better. And
I
that's
think
what
you
I'll
don't think
take.
anybody wants to be friends with you, and you are
That's
wrong.
we don't have time to get into that right now because that's something I clearly need therapy for.
Yeah, we do need to stop using this podcast as therapy.
It's simply making things worse.
Can you imagine if we did like a therapy podcast where it was just like bearing our souls and then like a few hundred people listening?
Yeah. And I'm like, they haven't mentioned Emmerdale today. They're talking a lot about like childhood trauma unrelated to the show. I don't think I've got
There
any
is a lot
childhood
of childhood
trauma.
trauma in Emmerdale, so
That's true. Maybe we should find out where our own matches up because I mean, I did once have my relative die in a helicopter crash on the village hall. No, sorry, that didn't happen. That was
I
just that
was
was
like,
just
you've never mentioned this before.
that was just the old ED. But there we go. Well, it seems to be done straight. Should we do our character? What we think they bring to the show?
I
Random character
always
pick.
that we do this.
Our random character is. Oh, it's not going to take long. It is Dottie Thomas.
I think she hung a Christmas decoration on the tree when Ray was there this year.
Yeah, and I think that was a scene that I missed whilst I was fast forwarding Ray's storyline. So I don't think I've never seen Dottie as far as I know.
Yeah, she's just like always upstairs, I guess.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's Dottie. Some of them take longer than others, but you know,
I can't
hopefully.
believe that's all we've got to say.
I mean, I would like more storylines of Dottie when she's a bit older. Maybe we did find out at one point how old she was, didn't we?
I don't know. Is Ashley her father? Surely not.
I think yes.
Didn't he die ages ago?
Yes, but maybe Dottie was still a baby. Well, I'll look it up. Dottie. Well, she has surname Thomas, which I guess is Laurel's surname intermittently. Oh, she is very cute, little 2-year-old or whatever in that picture. But she is now 6. No,
Oh, okay.
sorry, 10, 9, 9. She's 9 years old.
Oh, she's 9. Gosh, I thought she was like 2 or 3.
Maybe you saw a different child hanging a Christmas decoration.
Maybe I was
She
just
is
further away from the
indeed
screen, so she looked
Ashley's.
smaller.
She is Ashley's daughter rather.
Okay, cool.
So if she's 9, then I guess it's probably a good another like 5 years before she starts getting storylines. So
Yeah,
watch this
probably.
space.
Great. Well,
Great.
farming
Thanks for all you
content.
bring to the show, Dottie. Has there been any farming content apart from like finding some random sign in a field?
Yeah, they've certainly been on the farm at various points, walking around the farm. I like that the outdoors of Butlers is being used. I've said that probably in the last 2 episodes already. But yeah, I haven't
Aaron went
seen
to
any
find both
actual.
Victoria and then Robert in a field to talk to both of them at different times.
Yeah, true. And I think that's about it. Great.
There we go.
Which is curious because it is carving season right now.
Is it?
So you would think that Cain would be a lot more stressed than he is about the fact that like Moira's in prison and he's really busy
He does seem
and these
pretty
cows
stressed about
do.
that.
Well, like he's not actually helping any cows to give birth. I haven't seen any.
Well, because he does do a lot of work on the farm, despite, as far as I know, not being a farmer. Like, does he know how to do anything on a farm other than,
I
I guess,
think if
fix
you're married
tractors?
to a farmer, you probably do just work it out.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know if I'd want to just do some amateur carving, but
Yeah, I mean, cows, from what I've gleaned, seem to sort of be able to sort themselves out more often than not. Sheep are
yeah, that's
harder.
fair
Well,
enough.
sheep get it wrong more.
Oh, bless them.
Yeah, they're idiots.
My dad's carved cows in the past, so something
That's nice.
to cling on to. Well, cling on to it, I guess, is a big part of it. I feel like we can't end on that. But what else is there to say?
I don't know. Just that I really hope that things get a bit better soon, because it's all really bleak and at times
Yeah,
I'm losing interest.
there are some fun episodes we've had recently, or thrown moments. I've enjoyed, like, yeah, as we mentioned, all the stuff with Manpreet in the car and the boys all talking about their films. This romance storyline that's starting. We may not want them to get together, but it's nice to have a bit of that. Let's have
Yeah.
more of that. Some more fun things. I think what is on the horizon is a workplace bullying storyline, which is probably not going to be fun. But
I just don't
yeah,
really understand how, after the last sort of year of all Emmerdale fans ever just being like, this is too bleak and we need a bit more lightness, they're like, cool, the next big storyline we're going to bring in is going to be workplace bullying.
I
That's not
listened
light.
to an episode on a podcast called This Is Media City with a guy whose name I can't remember, but who's the head of serial drama at ITV. So basically, Coronation Street and Emmerdale, and he kept talking about how Coronation Street is very down to earth and Emmerdale is very gothic. And I was like,
What?
is it? And also make it more down to earth. We don't.
Gothic in what sense?
I think he just means ridiculous because he was like, 'cause he was like, he works on Hollyoaks at some point, which obviously isn't ITV, but he was saying like they do the serial killer or like missing evil twin sort of thing. Coronation Street is like someone's made a trifle, and then like Emmerdale is like the halfway point of both. And it's like, oh, is it? Is that your vision for it?
Are
Because
we
I'd like
watching
it
the
to
wrong
be a.
soap? Should we start watching Coronation Street? Like, I'd love to see someone make a trifle.
It was the only time I've ever thought, should I be watching Coronation Street instead? but
Yeah.
but what I'd actually like is a bit more of that groundedness in Emmerdale.
Yeah. Surely they'll start listening to us soon. They listen to us about the hot drinks.
Yeah, so that's step one. Um, well, you know how we'll know that they've listened to us is when we see Jimmy's psychological paralysis storyline begin to play out.
And I'm sure that is an inevitability at this stage.
Yeah, if I mentioned it in December, then they'll have started filming that day, I suspect. And so we'll see it on screen in April.
I think we talked about it like on New Year's Eve or something.
Okay, I
Like, come
guess
on, guys, let's all go back into work.
if they
Or
film
Jimmy
it
in a
6 weeks
wheelchair.
ahead, and then they need to write the scripts a bit ahead, so maybe we won't see it till like July, but it's a
Okay,
coming.
I'm sure it's coming. Maybe we'll get to meet Jimmy on the tour, and you can be like, "Have you ever considered a psychological paralysis storyline?"
Maybe if it is him, I'll just pretend that storyline is playing out on screen as we speak, and I'll just be like, "I'm loving your work in that storyline," and he'll be so confused that he'll just start acting
Yeah, or just sort of out of gaslighting more than anything else.
it. Yeah, just the next episode, he'll just be in a wheelchair, and they'll be like, "Jimmy, what's going on?" And he's like, "This
But
is
he
my
won't be able to get
psychological
out.
paralysis." Maybe I'll give the actor psychological paralysis. That'd be sad, wouldn't it?
It sounds unwise as a strategy.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh
like the sound
dear.
of it.
Um,
Well,
there we go.
should we sort of leave it there?
Yeah, thanks everyone for listening. I hope it hasn't been too painful. Well, if you are listening and think I cannot tell the difference between this and an edited episode, which is entirely legitimate, then I'll
Yeah,
say this
then let us
next
know, because it
time.
does take about like 2 hours to edit each episode, and if no one can even tell, then maybe we'll just stop bothering.
And if you can drastically tell, then you probably didn't get to the end of the episode. So
Yeah, true. I guess we'll never find out.
do let us know anything you'd like to let us know at dinglealltheway.pod at gmail.com. I had a lovely another email from Rachel. Thank you, Rachel. And you can find us on Instagram, dinglealltheway.pod.
You can, and yeah, we'll chat to you again in 2 weeks' time.
Bye.
Bye.